one of those weeks. I didn't mean it to be that way, but it just turned out that way. Well, there was a lot going on, so are we recording yet?
Yeah, we're recording.
Oh, sweet. Okay, yeah. Welcome to the 9 to 5 boys. We're jumping into my alcohol habits, and I swear this isn't a regular thing. It just seems to happen a lot. So I guess it is a regular thing.
If it's any consolation, man, I drank way too much tequila and whiskey yesterday, so I'm in the same boat with you.
On a Sunday, but I mean, I guess it's the weekend. But anyway, so
I literally have 3 days off, man.
You have 3 days off, yeah. So oh, that's right, because President's Day today. I didn't have the day off.
Yeah.
I was just chilling at work. I was working from home, so that was kind of nice. But anyway,
But more about your drinking story.
So more about my drinking habits. So I started drinking. I had a drink with you on the podcast on Monday.
Yeah.
I was still in quarantine, so I kind of it's hey man, let me be. I figured it's a good excuse.
Mm-hmm.
But and then Tuesday it was Valentine's Day, and I had just gotten cleared, and so me and my girl were able to hang out. So we killed. I remember we killed a whole bottle and a half of wine. And then together, so it's not it wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
And then the second night, Wednesday night, we were hanging out. We also killed another bottle and a half, which is fine. And then Thursday was college night at Broncos, and so we went out. Me and my buddies, and I had a lot of shots. Friday I did not drink. Friday I was very glad. I was I need to give myself a break.
Mm-hmm.
So that was good. And then Saturday I did drink, and it wasn't an excess, and that's actually a good thing because I only had a few, and I was I had to end up being the one driving, and that was a whole thing. Not a whole thing, but it was just my friend who drove us there had just ignored his responsibilities as DD and drank way too much, and so then he couldn't drive. So I was I guess I'll take it on because I had 3 beers, so I was it was fine. And it was spread over a few hours, so I was conscious enough and awake enough and able to do it. So I mean it's DUIs are bad, and you should never try to catch one. And I want to emphasize this to the audience. I don't support that, but if it's all about making a good judgment call.
The 9 to 5 boys does not approve of crimes of any kind, not even cool crimes.
I think cool crimes is weird to approve of because we're giving it a separate adjective, but crimes like DUIs are bad because those are dangerous, dude.
I'm just saying that in case of any of our employers are watching this video, okay? We do not condone cool crimes, okay?
Sure. We don't condone cool crimes.
Yeah, it's only if it's really cool enough, then it's okay, you get a free pass because that's pretty cool. But overall, crimes are bad. Crimes are bad.
Crimes are bad. And then I drank Sunday, so I was okay, you know what? There was 6 out of 7 days of the week. I'm gonna not drink till probably earliest. Maybe I'll even just wait till Sunday. I think that'd just be best.
That's probably a better idea, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say Saturday, but nah. I'll give a whole 6 days of not drinking, so it's I had a whole week off,
Well, more importantly, because you were good to drive, you were responsible enough to take you and your friend home safely, so that's good.
I was responsible enough. I wasn't sure if I even had a breathalyzer test. I wouldn't be above legal limit. I'd be fine. And also, I will say this is to the audience, don't do a field sobriety test. You'll fail those so many times, and so if you refuse the field sobriety test, but you're unsure if you'll pass the breathalyzer test, just say no to the field test. They can still arrest you, but you could better fight it in court. You know what I mean?
Well, I always figured you could just say oh yeah, let me take it at the station.
Could you?
Is
that another legal loophole we're trying to teach to the fans?
I heard somewhere that you could actually demand that you take it at the station, because the distance between where you're at and how long it'll take you to get to the station, you will sober up a little bit, and 2, you have multiple witnesses. It's not your word against the cop's word; it's your word against everyone in the room's word.
Oh, and so you could pull that in court if you wanted to. Yeah, that makes sense.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, see, we're helping with loopholes, but again, if you're gonna if you're gonna drive, just either have one drink or no drink. It's just like maybe keep it at that even.
Yeah,
But so just be mindful, just be responsible, drink responsibly.
yeah.
And my friend did not drink responsibly, so I had to take over. But it was kind of worked out because I got to drive his Mini, so it was fun. But I mean, like, I would never. After driving it, I was like, I would never own this car. I'm way too big for this, like.
And plus, hey, if you do fail the test at the station, at least then you're already at the station. That maybe try and convince the cop, hey, can I sleep it off in like the
Oh yeah, just
drunk
drunk
tank?
tank. Yeah, there you go.
Exactly, yeah.
You could avoid the, or I guess no, you couldn't avoid the DUI because you'd then be admitting to like needing the drunk tank because you were drinking too much.
Exactly, but if you convince the cop enough, hey, let me sleep it off in the drunk tank, and then next morning it's like, okay, hey, since like we were responsible enough to go to the station, we didn't cause any problems or anything. Can you cut me some slack here, man?
I don't think cops would do that, man. Cops aren't cool. ACAB,
Well, big
motherfuckers. But
city
like,
cops are fucking assholes. Small town cops are actually pretty cool.
yeah, I bet.
They got nothing else better to do, man. I'm sorry, like.
Yeah, it's just like be cool. But yeah, so that was my week. That's why I'm not drinking now, and I'm trying to like take a detox this week
Yeah.
for sure.
Why do you think most of like the bad cop behavior is usually in places like New York and LA and shit like that? Fuck the sheriff's county in LA. Holy fuck, they're evil
Well,
bastards.
the LA LAPD don't really have good public relations in the last 30 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they don't have a good track record.
And that's why I appreciate the show Bosch so much. They don't shy away from that shit. Like they actually show that it is a hard job and there are plenty of bad apples and you have to like ride that fine line of like, yeah, I kind of like these people as like people, but also at the same time them doing their job, they do break a few ethical, guidelines to get the job done.
Yeah. What's the show Bosch about?
So it's about LAPD homicide detective Harry Bosch and his adventures in solving like crimes throughout every season.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah, and it stars the guy who played Silas Adams in Deadwood.
Oh, sweet, sweet.
Yeah, I don't know if you got to that part yet where they introduced Silas Adams. He works closely with Al Swearingen later in like I think season 2. Yeah.
He's not like the guy who owns the bar across from the gym, is he?
No,
That's a
no, no.
different side.
That's Cy Tolliver you're thinking of.
Okay, yeah. It's okay. Then I haven't I haven't met him yet, but that's fine.
Yeah, no, he's gonna be not hard to miss. Long hair like yours and a big old bushy beard, unlike yours.
Nice. Mine's not big, but it's bushy.
No, you're more Abraham
I
Lincoln. This guy has more of a lumberjack beard.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I was growing mine out. It's just a lot of care to like have for that,
Yeah.
and like it's cool to have a big beard. I also will say my hair gets caught in it. I don't know if that's a reflection of what I'm doing with my beard and my hair, but I don't know. Um, yeah, just a long beard is a lot of care.
No, I believe it. I believe it. That's why, like, I shave often because I don't trust myself to actually have the patience and the skill to actually like grow like a steady beard. So I just shave.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I think you just need to like shape yours up and stuff. It's just gonna be like a chin strap because you don't really grow that much of a mustache. But this took a long time for me to get to this point though. So like,
Nah, if I'm gonna grow a mustache, it's gonna be like a what is it? Like a mutton chop combo. Like all the way riding up this way.
yeah, dude. Oh, like some old timey shit.
Exactly, or
You have
like
to get like a haircut to match or something, dude. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly, bro. Like get the trims on the side and just like have like just nothing but this on top, and maybe have some like shapes like cut out on the sides too.
hell yeah,
Just
man. That'd be sweet.
really go for a whole like JoJo character look, man. I want to
What
look
are you
like
drinking on tonight, man?
straight black coffee.
Oh, you're having coffee in the evening. Nice.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, since I'm gonna watch more Bosch after this, I might as well get into the mood. Drink coffee, like donut shop coffee.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There you go. There you go.
Yeah. Literally, this coffee is literally donut shop flavor.
It's that K cup that you have. The
Yeah.
what's it?
It's
That's
not
cool.
it's not the donut shop brand. The one that comes in like that greenish blue package. No, it's the
It's like a teal, right? Yeah.
yeah, it's the signature select from Vaughn's or Safeway, depending on which part of the area you live in.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I figured out my Safeway is like really close by, walking distance.
Oh,
I
nice.
didn't figure that out, but like I did that. You know, last weekend. I wore a
Yeah.
mask and stuff, and figured it was. I think I talked about this, but yeah, Safeway's kind of pricey, even with the deals, man. I'm just like, bro, I
Yeah, no,
spent like $50 on groceries last week. I was like, what the hell?
it's
I didn't
twisted.
even get that much.
It's twisted. Like literally, me and our parents like took a trip to Los Alamos and did some browsing around. Go to a little
Mm-hmm.
liquor store that looks kind of fancy because Los Alamos takes pride in its like kind of old west kind of theme looking town. So this liquor store literally looks like an old saloon almost.
Mm-hmm.
So we go in and we're like, oh, there's alcohol here. So obviously a liquor store. But then we see these prices are actually really, really good for some like high quality alcohol.
Oh, nice. It's
Yeah,
like really inexpensive.
exactly. Yeah, I think we got like a cheaper deal on a bottle of this rare mezcal than like literally anywhere else. So,
Nice.
and I also found an Irish whiskey with the most American name ever on it.
What is it?
John L. Sullivan Irish whiskey.
That sounds pretty American, yeah.
Well, it's
Or Sullivan. It could be. It could be also Irish.
yeah, he's actually based. The name is actually based on a real dude. He is an Irish American boxer from the late 1800s, and apparently he's way more famous than I thought. I thought he was just like a skilled boxer who inspired the manliest man meme. No, it turns out this dude is the best bare knuckle boxer probably in history. On top of that, one of the best heavyweight, gloved boxers in history.
Jesus, man.
Yeah, he defended his bare knuckle boxing title in 1889, lasting 75 rounds in a single fight before dropping his opponent.
Oh my god, dude, what the hell?
Yeah, and during his
Jesus,
glove
man.
boxing days, his belt is actually on display at the Smithsonian, Museum.
Mm,
Yeah.
that's crazy, man.
So they thought, oh, you know what, this guy, he's so talented, he's so great, he deserves an Irish whiskey named after him. And honestly, it's one of the best Irish whiskeys I've ever had.
Very nice, dude. Very nice.
Yeah.
I have this whiskey that my friend got me for my birthday. It's this chat. It's I can look it up real quick. I want to remember the name of it. Bevmo is the app I'm looking for. That's right.
Okay.
Um,
It might have been something I've had before.
oh, it's Suntory whiskey. That's the one.
I think that's one that I've had before, actually. I had to see the bottle again, but yeah, I think that I've had that one before.
It's like a rectangular bottle. It's great, man. It's good. It's
Yeah.
enjoyable. I have it in my freezer.
Oh, hell
Is it
yeah.
ready?
Smart.
Yep.
Yeah.
I always keep vodka and Kahlua in my freezer whenever I need a cold drink, or a cocktail. It's usually my go-to.
I feel like that's like the set stoner, kind of setup. Like, you got your weed in some place, and then you got like ice cold vodka and Kahlua just ready to go.
I do indeed, man. I do indeed. I do keep the liquor in there. And I have a bin for my pot. Yeah. What else? What else has been going on in the world?
Oh,
There's
apparently
been
they might have figured out what those balloons were that we shot down.
yeah, like there wasn't there like some released audio just like with pilots describing their experience or something.
Something like that, but overall they couldn't figure out what it was. But okay, so timeline, real quick, people. There was the
Yeah,
Chinese spy balloon that got shot down. Okay, that was big news. And then
that was like 2 weeks ago.
yeah, and then there was a couple more balloons shot down around February 10th, right? February 11th.
Something like that. Yeah, it was like that weekend, or that was the weekend before Valentine's. Yeah.
Yeah, and there was a couple more balloons shot down around then, and they couldn't identify it, so they thought it could be literally spy balloons, it could be anything, it could be
Uh huh.
UFOs, whatever, and people were freaking out a little bit until like a little column pops up about hobbyists who like building pico balloons attached with ham radio equipment. And one of them mentioned that, yeah, we tracked one of our balloons to the Yukon Territory in Alaska, and we lost contact with it around February 10th, which is literally around the same time when a balloon over Alaska got shot down.
Oh, that's it's just humans being humans is what it was. It was like it wasn't aliens or any shit. It's just funny.
Exactly.
That's kind of
It was like $180 worth of balloons, like with this ham radio equipment getting shot down by $4 million worth of rockets from the U.S. Army.
America.
I know, right? Oh, I got all that
Have
military
been.
spending, bro.
Yeah, dude, I love that. That's awesome. Um, I mean, they made a call, I guess. So it's like you gotta like you can't assume anything, but it's like
Yeah, but
and they didn't really see it that well, but it's like I don't know. It's still that's just like stupid. You could have really kept an eye on it. It's like the shoot first, ask questions later thing is really it's obviously very expensive.
yeah, apparently. I mean, it's equal parts stupid and funny, but also like terrifying because I'm sitting here thinking World War III can literally break out over ham radio and balloon enthusiasts just like teaming up to like do little fun like projects and whatnot.
It's honestly a potential now, yeah, because like again, that shoot first, ask questions later. It's like they'll like, and then they'll like think it's some other influence, like some foreign influence. They'll be like, "What the fuck, man?"
Yeah, like I'm pretty sure
That's
the
crazy.
Spanish American War or one of the early wars from the 20th century, like it literally broke out. Or no, this I think it was yeah, 20th century. It literally broke out over like a ship randomly exploding near Spain, and two journalists, media companies wanted to like compete on like writing the story of like what's going on, and they dabbled in tabloids. So they wrote, "Oh yeah, it was Spain that like fired at it."
They blame
When
a whole country. Oh my
yeah,
god.
no, when really it was actually just a boiler that like overheated and exploded the ship.
So it was outside of human influence. Yeah, of course it was.
Exactly, and just enough little lies, and then literally a whole fucking war broke out.
That's cool. That's really bad. I'd feel bad if I were like the person who wrote that and sort of sparked that. You know what I mean? I
Yeah,
feel like, oh shit, all these lives have been lost because of my stupidity.
yeah. Uh, well, funny enough,
That's really.
one of the media empires was actually owned by William Hearst, who you might know of Hearst Castle. So yeah,
Well, William Hurst wasn't he the guy that like Orson Welles based Citizen Kane on?
yeah, which sounds about right given what I know about the man. So yeah,
Well, it was like I was in a history class for film, and they were like it was like a film history. I mean, like, and they were talking about uh, the basis for the character Kane in the movie, and it was William Hurst, and William Hurst was like really pissed about that, um, because he was some rich douchebag. You know what I mean? He was some like rich a hole.
well, yeah, because he started off like pretty well. You don't know this until like later because you're watching the series Deadwood, but a character will show up, this rich douchebag type named George Hearst, and he is the father of William Hearst.
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
once you
cool.
see that character in the series, like you're like, okay, now I know where William Hearst got his money from. Clearly,
Yeah, so Deadwood is like based off of like real historical figures.
it is. Yeah, it's kind of like the harder they fall. You know that movie?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. The Harder They Fall was also based on like real people in the West.
Exactly. Yeah,
I need to. That's such a good movie. Such a
it's
good
one.
movie, dude.
It's one of the best spaghetti westerns ever. Honestly.
It's fantastic. It's a really. I've seen it twice so far, but I loved it both times. And like, it's really like it's got a lot of emotion tied to it, and like it's got a lot of cool actions and some cool fucking lines, man. That movie is funny and like it's like got a lot of swagger and like the soundtrack is sweet and like the two main characters are sick
Yeah.
and
Honestly, I
like
think the only
every single
gripe
one of the actors is like just awesome.
I think the only gripe with that movie is that like it feels longer than it actually is, but that is literally the only gripe. Otherwise, it's a perfect film.
It does kind of feel like long, doesn't it?
Yeah, it almost feels like 3 hours when it's just over like two. So,
Hmm. Yeah, it's not that bad. Yeah.
but yeah, no, Deadwood's a great series. They're all based on real characters. Fucking Wild Bill Hickok, man, what a guy.
He went out, so spoilers. It's a I mean, I'm watching, I guess, so don't spoil for me. But like,
Yeah. I mean,
it's the
viewers,
show was from like 20 years ago, so it's like,
the show was from 20 years ago, and the actual Wild Bill Hickok's been dead for like 120 years. Okay, like,
yeah. So like, and so like he got done dirty, bro. You know, like
yeah,
he's talked this whole legend, and he's like quick draw, and then like a guy just shoots him in the face from the back of the head and doesn't give him a chance. You know what I mean? It's like, what the fuck, dude? I was so bad when that death happened. I was like, did that really just fucking happen?
yeah,
Did
no,
that
and
really just? Oh
according
my
to actual
god.
historical notes, yeah, that's exactly how it went down. The one time, Wild Bill Hickok did not have his like, back to the wall, he got shot in the back of the head.
Yeah. Well, that
Yeah,
was the only way people could kill him, right? Because he's such a quick draw, such a
exactly,
legend.
exactly.
And his friend Charlie Utter, I felt bad because he gave him that whole speech of like, just let me die how I want to. It's like, what the fuck, man? The show's good, and I really like the character Calamity Jane because like she feels very tragic. You know, it's like just because of my work, I think I see a lot of like trauma and alcoholism,
Yeah,
severe, and like that's just her coping strategy, and like she's hurting and she wants to help, but like isn't very good at it, and is always mocked and ostracized, and I can just imagine. It's like I can just imagine, dude. She's like she had like such a hard upbringing.
but what's surprising is that
Um,
like, according to historical testimony, like she was a brash, like swearing kind of like person, but she was a surprisingly good caretaker and very good with kids, apparently. Yeah,
She's very. I mean, in the show we get to see she's very like attached to young girls who go through trauma. She was very like um, uh, antsy about helping the Norwegian girl and stuff.
yeah,
So like I really like that part, right? It's like she's trying to do good, and she very much is like seeing the hurt she had, and like doesn't want anyone else to have that pain, and like it's really interesting, and like she's horribly drunk all the time, but that's because that's how she like handles the pain. She just tries to forget
exactly. Yeah, it's a
and be coasting, you know, and that's like cool, and you know, to each their own. And I like that scene where the doctor's like trying to tell her like just fucking stop drinking. Like I would beg of you to like or whatever he says. He asks her like, and he says I wish you would quit drinking so much. But and that was really I like the doctor too. He's like very like passionate, and he's a very good doctor. He's like very he's even like validating of the that one employee who like um oh god, what's her name? I don't
Jewel, right?
Jewel. Yeah. That's right.
I
And
would
I
say
think that's a really
disabled
nice name
because
too.
what's that?
Disabled. Yeah, she's got some disabilities. That's what it is. Jewel. Yeah. So like he's even nice to her, and I'm like, because like culturally like. People would be like disrespectful as fuck, but he's just like, man, you shouldn't be like hearing that from Al. And I was like, oh, he's like, he's very unbiased, and I love that, and that's cool, and that's like very good to see for the era, right? Because I mean they talk some language about like black people and stuff, and I was like, oh yeah, it's the late 1800s, it's like
Yeah,
it was just it struck me, but it makes sense. And then like Al's an interesting character. I just watched that episode where like it ended with him like um
getting a tug
get
job.
getting head from while talking about his mom, dude, and I was just like, oh, this is where he gets his hatred of women. You know what I mean? Like, and it's like, oh shit. I don't mean to get all Freudian, but like, I think that's like a fair analysis. But
I mean,
the
yeah,
show's really good, man.
he certainly has his issues, and yeah, it's a great show, honestly.
And like all the characters just feel very human, and that's what I appreciate. It's a very human centered story, um, and just about like strife and survival and stuff,
Exactly.
and navigating, these uncertainties and whatnot. It's very cool, and it feels very unpredictable because I don't know what's gonna happen. Not like unpredictable. It's like I really am kept on my toes. I'm like, oh shit, what's gonna be the next situation? That like the smallpox series of episodes was interesting and cool, and that also showed another side of Jane that like I really appreciated. I really just like her story and like her character and like the growth, the development that she goes through. Because I'm not necessarily gonna say it's growth. She's working on it, but she's not there yet. Um,
Yeah.
but it's great. It's great. It's great programming. I also checked out the show on Apple TV Plus called um, um, Hello Tomorrow. So yeah, so it's about like it's a retro futuristic series. It's set in a retro futuristic time where like it's stuck in the 50s, but like everything's like super advanced. So it's kind of like
Oh.
Fallout before the Fallout. But it's cool because because what's it?
Or I guess even that new game, Atomic Heart.
Oh yeah, I did hear about that. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. It is very much like that. That's the one with the robots, right?
Exactly, yeah. And the ones that people have been sexualizing, the fucking ballerina ones, the ones that have no faces.
I didn't know about that, but okay,
Yeah,
that's
no,
what the internet's.
I spent too much time online to know this, unfortunately. So
Yeah, it's. I mean, like the internet. That's what the internet was made for. You got. It's really like. It actually. It was like the big. It's what helped blow up the internet was porn because like Pam and Tommy. Um,
I mean,
it's.
yeah.
So I mean, yeah, the internet was literally built on porn, I guess, or it was like it was popularized by porn. I think
Yeah.
is a good way to put it. But
And it
what
was
were we
the
talking
death of the
about?
golden age of porn. I mean, many people from that era will tell you the exact same thing.
Well, it's like it's got heart. It's not sloppily made. You like actually had to put effort and stuff and like and
And it's also printed on
yeah.
like very tactile like forms of media, like film reels, like VHS tapes and stuff. Like you actually like bought a physical copy of it. You know, like once the internet became a thing, like you can just stream it anywhere essentially.
Everyone can own it. You know what I mean? It's like
You can make a copy of a
uh,
copy.
and yeah, that was kind of like that was what the show Pam and Tommy showed was like that growth and like that ability to make the copies because I mean they were already like the bootlegs of the tape on VHS tape. But then once the internet got to it, it's like it was posted for free pretty much.
And especially since the limited technology of VHS is like if you keep making a copy of a copy of a copy on like VHS tapes repeatedly, eventually like the footage
Original.
and audio is just gonna get so warped and like fucked. It's like you're basically like watching porn essentially in like 240p right now.
Oh, that sucks, dude.
Yeah.
That would be lame porn to be watching, dude. But
Exactly. But now with the days of the internet and the ungodly amount of like pornography we can create using AI, it's insane.
I
Like
think it's also like I think it's really problematic that like there's just so much content because I think that desensitizes us in a bit,
yeah.
in a sense. Because like I'm thinking like fetishes, right?
Yeah.
And fetishes are cool. I not gonna get into it, but like I have some myself, right? Like people have them, and we are attracted to what we're attracted to, and it's a very complicated subject to figure out what the ins and outs of that are. But like, so I think with the creation of content and with the internet's ability to create unlimited content, right? Because like you have limited content with DVDs or VHS or 8 track or whatever the fuck it might be, right? And
Yeah.
so like you know you have limited content, but like with the internet you can create unlimited content and provide it to anybody in any sense. You just post it somewhere, and like I think with that, it's too much of that because now we're like too used to all these like insane far out fetishes, and it's just like a lot of stimulation and input for for a young mind especially because like teenagers are gonna like go online and look at porn, especially teenage boys. But
Yeah.
and it's like I got introduced to porn when I was in middle school, bro. It's like that's because of the internet, you know what I mean? Or like I guess like you'd have that maybe like 30 years ago you have that one friend who's like I got my dad's tape, you know what I mean? Like I stuck it out of his collection and like you're gonna put it in the VCR and show your friends. But that's
Exactly.
only a limited crowd, right? But like with the internet, I could be watching it and some kid halfway across the world could be looking at the same thing, and it's like that's really dangerous. You know what I mean? It's just too much input and uh, yeah, and like that's I think the internet it's everything uh, anything and everything all the time, and it's like I don't need that. You know what I mean? Like I think porn makes you jump the gun, and like it also like shifts your perspective on like it really emphasizes heteronormative practices,
Yeah.
which like isn't like it isn't all. I don't know if it's any good. Like there's probably some good. I think it's mostly a reflection of like people are learning about sex from entertainment and not from uh from education. Like high school, right? I think like comprehensive sexual education, like, and not just talking about like protective stuff, like contraceptives, but like also like talking about like how to have like a conversation with your partner, how to ask for what you want. Because like I was watching this thing over the weekend, I got in this mode. I really wanted to just like learn a lot of stuff that day. Like I watched like a nature documentary, which was like sick. And then like I watched this show on Netflix called Explained. It's by Vox. They do like different subjects and have experts talk about it and stuff and just explain what it means and shit. And so
Nice,
one of the first
nice.
ones I found was female orgasm, and I was like, oh, I'm really curious what they have to say about this. And like so, it was talking about like there's a real failure of comprehensive sexual education, and especially for women. It's like it's very because the research has been limited because like for half a century the scientific method was dominated by men and their ideas of what women go through, and women's input wasn't really input. It was more just like, yes, dear, which is like horrible. Um, but also just an interesting history. And like, I mean, without sexism in gynecology and psychology, we wouldn't have the vibrator. So like, I think that's quite a peak invention for the 20th century.
That is very true. Yeah, yeah.
Because like what happened was like okay, so first off, this is bad. I don't approve of this diagnosis. It's horrible and obviously stigmatizing. But like, there was a practice in like I don't know for how long, but I know it was early as like the 18th century. But like there was a practice of, or no, it was prominent in the 19th century. I think mostly.
Yeah,
There
19th
was a
century is
practice.
1800s, so yeah.
Yeah, it was prominent in like. Thank you. I know my centuries.
Well, I don't. That's why I have to remind myself.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That makes
Yeah.
sense. But so there's a practice of like diagnosing women with mass hysteria, and like a treatment they thought of was stimulating the labia, and like so pretty much like finger blast chicks to cool them down, so like you'd help them achieve orgasm, but like because all orgasms are clitoral. Because they figured out, like in I think it was the 70s or something, that there's like the two clits. So it's like there's the outer one and the inner one, and like they're kind of like parallel. And so when you hit
Ah.
that, it's like it helps achieve a lot. Apparently, according to this documentary, I have no experience myself, but so so yeah, so it was really interesting. So this task would be very tiring for the men, and so they were like, "Oh, we need a machine that does this."
Oh my god.
And bippity boppity boo, you got the vibrator, dude. Um,
That makes sense. That does make sense. But yeah,
it's
no,
crazy.
honestly, going back to normalizing like conversations with your partner and like normalizing encountering people for like sex and whatnot, that's something we need to do because
And like how to ask for it too, just like how to get proper informed consent of
yeah,
like what's going on and stuff, and being open. And like also like I think a really big emphasis on like learn to take no, man. No means fucking no. It's like I've heard so many horror stories and it sucks.
yeah.
Um, I can't imagine what it's like being a member of the opposite gender. Um, but yeah, that would suck. That
Yeah,
would
no, and
suck.
it sucks too because like it probably creates this like sense of fear in like dudes because let's face it, there's a fair amount of dudes who do this type of shit, so it probably creates this like habit of like being afraid to like ask women out and stuff like that, and then they just spend all their time online and find really strange niches and whatnot, and they just don't interact with people anymore in that way, which
They don't figure
is
out how to interact with the opposite gender. It's like yeah, it's like
yeah.
that's kind of like no bueno, dude. You know.
Yeah, and it can either lead to two things: either like increasingly, disturbing behavior that like eventually they'll act out on it in real life, which is terrible, or
Hmm.
it creates an extreme, sense of loneliness and isolation, which is terrible as well. Like it's
That is
yeah,
bad. All of that's bad. It's
just
no.
having normal conversations with people would be great. Spending less time on technologies that can give you whatever the fuck you want, but at what cost?
It's and it's not just all content. It's curated. So like even
Yeah.
like Pornhub has the recommended for you based on your searches and stuff. And as your searches get weirder and weirder, because you're just getting more used to like irregular shit. Like you're just gonna be like it's all gonna be just a bunch of tentacle porn at the end of it, and like you're not gonna be able to find your way back because you're just on that's the for you page, man.
Or God forbid, Waluigi hentai.
Well, Luigi hentai, dude, that'd be like
Yeah.
That'd be bad, man. Live action tentacle porn is somehow worse than animated, and like, shut up, viewers. I've explored out of curiosity. I actually haven't achieved anything from watching the video, but yeah, it's a lot weirder when it's live action. I don't know, it just feels different.
Yeah, I imagine it would be. I mean,
It's like it's grimier and it's creepier. It's like with the hentai, it's like, oh, okay, this isn't too awful. But yeah,
but back to Hello Tomorrow. After all this porn discussion, holy shit, we are definitely not getting ads on this video.
oh my god, how did we? I completely forgot to like. I was telling a show and then we got onto porn somehow. Oh my god, dude, we
Because
felt like we talked about that forever.
we jump from Hello Tomorrow to Atomic Hearts because it's a similar idea, retro futurism,
Oh yeah, the porn. Oh yeah,
and then
they're making porn
the
about the
robots getting
Cinderella suit.
sexualized. Yeah.
That's right. So okay, so hello tomorrow. So like, thank you for helping me backtrack. I completely got lost in that conversation. Well, okay, so hello tomorrow. So it's a show about. It follows this. It's retrofuturistic. It's stuck in the 50s, and it's this salesman who's trying to sell houses on the moon, property on the moon that people can like go live in and buy and stuff and like travel to. He's like trying to sell that because he works for a company that does that, and so like it then shifts to like he we're told he has this like he visits his mom. We're told he has an adult son who he abandoned years ago when he was like an infant. So it's like and the wife or ex-wife or whatever, she fucking uh, uh, she gets run over by the first episode. This all happens in the first episode. She gets run over by a like a she gets reversed into the garage by like an automated vehicle that doesn't see her after it like it tries to exit her driveway because it's delivering a package. Um, and and so it stops in front of, but it's like it leaves the driveway and it stops in front of a dog because it doesn't like the dog. Then it rams her into the back of the garage. So it's like holy shit, and so she's in like a coma and stuff. And he's like, oh, and the mother's like, oh, go talk to them, and like he's like, oh shit, man, the kid's 20, he's not gonna fucking remember me. And then like I started the show because it was like there's this TikToker Nicholas Padani, I think I want to say that's correct. I hope so. He
Yeah.
stars in it, and I like his content. And I was like, oh shit, he's killing it in this show. I'm loving him.
Huh.
He's very cool, man. He apparently also was on Broadway in the Harry Potter play, but that's cool. Um, he is a Potter kid. He looks yeah. He like jokes that he's like the American Eddie Redmayne, which is true. But so anyway, so like
Well,
he
damn. Now I have to look
reconnects
this kid up.
he reconnects with his kid when they meet at the hospital because apparently this kid was at a conference that he was given advertising the moon property. You know what I mean? Like, and so he reconnects with him and gives him a job and like is now training him to be a salesman, but he's also using it. He's mostly using it to reconnect with his son and like be a dad for once. And it's like I'm interested in that. It's just I'm curious how this whole thing is gonna work out. But it's a cool setting. I like the concept. I like that sort of retro futuristic kind of thing. I like that it's like stuck in one era. Like things never shifted after the 50s, and like
Yeah.
I mean, things culturally did. Uh,
Well, yeah. Okay. Look, to all the viewers out there.
socially, I mean.
Okay. Like the retro aesthetic of like the 50s and even the 70s are like cool as hell. Fashion, cars, technology, everything like that.
But
You can skip the politics because we don't need that shit. Okay.
and
Like
the socio political stuff is like bad. But like this show progresses. So it's like the black guy in the show because there's the one black guy. He's and there's a black woman. Yeah, I actually love the actress. I need to look her up. She's fantastic. Um,
you know the name of her character in the show
oh God.
because that usually helps narrow it down.
I'm trying to remember the characters. I don't even remember Nicholas Padani's character. I know he's Joey, and then Jack, and I can look it up now. I have the page open. Uh, uh, Hanifa Wood.
Huh.
Hope I pronounced that correctly. But she's. Oh yeah, that's right. She's from Murderville. That's where I liked her. Yeah, Murderville is also a great show. That one's
What is
funny as fuck.
that one about?
Well, I'll get into that. Yeah, I think I summed up Hello Tomorrow. It's cool.
Yeah, no, it's a coming of age story of reconnection with
With your
family in a
son,
retro futuristic setting.
and like teaching him how to be like be good at his jobs, so he can like make money and stuff. Um, and so it's like it's really cool. It's really interesting, and so we I like the retro futuristic stuff. But so the show Murderville is actually really fun because it's Will Arnett,
Oh, I
and
love Will Arnett.
he plays this like head detective who solves murders, and so each week there's a special guest, and like they don't get a script, but they have to be his partner, and so everyone else gets the script and knows what's going on, but they have to actually be a detective, and they have to improvise whole thing.
Oh my god.
It's got like Kumail Nanjiani. It's got Marshawn Lynch,
Oh shit.
which is
Okay.
cool. It's got Ken Jeong. First episode is Conan. One of my favorites. One of my favorites, dude.
Dude,
Fantastic.
that man is built like a human ostrich.
It's got some great. I want to figure out who else was in it, man. Let me look on Netflix real quick.
I'm still
Because
wondering
there
if
were some
like
other great comedians.
I'm still wondering if Kumail Nanjiani is still pretty ripped, or if he like kind of lost his six pack, but is still like built like upper arm strength.
His probably upper body's doing. His torso's doing fine.
Yeah,
But like
dude's probably got biceps, but he's probably got like fit dad bod.
he's definitely let it go. Oh wait, was there a season two? Oh wait, no, nope. It was just one season. So they had Conan O'Brien. They had Marshawn Lynch. Yeah.
Ken Jeong.
Uh, Annie Murphy.
The main.
Sharon Stone, dude. The Sharon Stone episode was hilarious.
Wait, what?
Oh my god, dude. Oh, it was sick. Oh, that show was so sweet. It's only like 6 episodes. They're each like half an hour long, dude. It's really easy watch, really easy binge watch. I got it in a day, and I was like, "Fuck, I want more." It's great,
Dude,
man. It's a great show. I love Will Arnett. He's so funny. He's so funny. And because his partner has to improv, he improvs a lot, I'm sure, and it's just so funny.
that's a brilliant idea, honestly. Like
It's
that's
genius. It was really creative, and it's just fun. And like, so she plays like the chief or something, and gives them cases all the time.
yeah.
It's like someone's been murdered, and she's great in this show. In Hello Tomorrow, she's like a really interesting character, and she's funny. Um, yeah, and then there's like one of the characters is like dealing with like the mob because he owes money to loan sharks. I guess I don't. It's all very just. It's all over the place.
I mean, the mob was doing stuff in the '50s, so that makes sense.
Oh, they were always active, man. I mean, I
Yeah.
think especially like late 19th century got a reawakening of organized crime.
Well,
At
yeah,
least that we read about.
but it wasn't until like during World War II and then post World War II where it really like took off in terms of like levels of like organized crime.
Oh well, yeah, and then these guys got more ruthless because of the war. They were just like, "Fuck this, man." Um,
Exactly, especially since like bootlegging wasn't really a thing anymore. They
wasn't
had to
really
get
a business anymore, man. I mean, that's just one of the things that really sparked. They really got a jump on organized crime. Drugs are a business, man.
yeah,
You
yeah,
got to treat them like a business. You try to do a war on a business, you're not. It's not. You're just gonna. There's gonna be more profit because, like,
yeah,
military. I hate to admit it, but like humans doing awful shit to other humans really makes a profit, which
yeah.
is not good. But I mean, that's just. It's not very profitable to care about people, is it? I mean, like I work in a humanitarian uh, field, and like I like what I do. I love what I do for work. It's like I
Yeah.
like today. I had like 3 sessions, but I had like no problem because I loved connecting with people and stuff, and like talking to them. And like 2 of them were new clients. So I was like, oh yeah, this is sweet. Um,
See,
but like,
that's like honestly like one of
but
the
I don't
like
get paid very well. Is my point. But yeah,
some of like the coolest crimes ever committed. At least I've seen on screen. I like to think this was back in the day, but like during the '70s, like the mob being like more like traditional in terms of like crimes. Making money off porn, making money off cigarette machines, making money off of underground gambling, shit like that. They tried to steer away from drugs, some circles, as hard as they can until like eventually it just took over. Like cocaine was like the new thing. They had to like sell like crazy.
oh well, yeah, for sure. I mean, like
Yeah.
they you had in the '70s it was coke and like and I think heroin was like a big thing, right?
Yeah, it was.
Acid had been introduced in like the late 50s, early 60s. You know.
Yeah. Although that was great for rock and roll music. I'm sorry, that's just how it is.
Well, no, it really progressed the genre because I mean,
Yeah.
like these guys were pursuing like that psychedelic sound and what like would sound good high,
Yeah.
and that allows for a lot of room for sweet solos and like long songs. Like there's the '60s band called Iron Butterfly. Their biggest track was Inagata Devita.
Yes. Oh,
And
my
like
friend.
that's a 16-minute long, 17-minute long song, dude. It's like that's a very lengthy track.
Yeah, no.
These guys just fucking around doing a great riff and stuff, and like, oh my god.
Yeah, and then don't forget Pink Floyd, obviously the
Pink
kings
Floyd doing, yeah.
of psychedelic.
Their early albums are crazy, man.
Yeah, no, that was
Their early albums are sweet. Their first two, there's nothing like it, dude.
that was when Sid Barrett was behind like the creative genius of the band. Like,
It's a little less, it's a little less followable by the public. I think Dark Side of the Moon is still psychedelic.
yeah,
It has very much those elongated moments. It's like very indie, kind of angelic, dreamy riffs, right? That like it's like F major seven, right?
exactly.
And so like you've got all that and all these different sounds and stuff. But it's their first stuff. Their first two albums are super experimental, and that makes it really hard to digest. Dark Side of the Moon is more digestible to the greater public.
Exactly, because once Sid Barrett like was worried about like the commercialization of Pink Floyd and like how they might lose their sound later down the line, he, in a panic, like twisted his mind up so bad that he couldn't like perform anymore. So David Gilmour and Roger Waters, I think that's the other member's name. I always forget his name. They took over essentially the main aspect of the band once they went totally commercial,
Mhm.
and they were creative enough to know, yeah, we still need to keep our same sound, but like make it more consumable for average audiences.
No,
So
totally. Yeah, it's like it still has that Pink Floyd feel, and it's not that they're any different from each other. They're just like it's not like it's not a Pink Floyd sound. Like I listen to their referring to their first two,
yeah,
but it's definitely like of course more experimental and like that makes it harder for people to listen to over and over again. Dark Side of the Moon is really easy. Oh, and then their next album, the one that followed that, Wish You Were Here.
yeah,
I have that album on my list. I can't wait to listen to it because I've heard the title track a bunch of times. I love that one.
yeah. Just those four like notes, just doon 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 doon. Just
Yeah,
that's the one time I damn near creamed my pants without the use of pornography.
that's right, dude.
Yeah,
It's like Third Eye Blind says, dude. The right four chords could make me cry, dude. You know what I mean? Like it's like
exactly.
sweet,
And they even
and
did
like
the
that's
same with that song "Wish You Were Here" in the album because it starts off with like four simple notes.
hmm
Yeah,
yeah, dude. It's sick. But yeah. So I mean that did influence that era of rock and roll.
yeah,
And what other drugs were available by the '70s? So it was coke, heroin, acid, marijuana, of
yeah.
course, marijuana.
Mara
Um,
Wieners.
you ever see Reefer Madness? That's an insane like propaganda piece.
I know the plot of the movie. I never actually seen the movie because
The
I
movie
just seem to.
itself is just really it's fun to watch. You're just like whatever, cool. Oh shit. Um,
I don't know, man. I think The Room is fun to watch. Reaper Madness. I don't know.
The Room is fun to watch. I need to watch
Yeah.
that one again.
You're tearing me apart, Lisa.
I really like The Disaster Artist, the movie about him. Although James Franco's, I mean, he's always been a weirdo, but like now he's like
A
a
piece of
creep, I
shit.
guess. Yeah, he's a piece of shit.
His fucking
Um,
brother's cool though. Like I
his
love
brother
Dave
is
Franco.
dope. Dave Franco, we stand. Hopefully, and hopefully, we can continue to stand.
Oh yeah, dude. If you got to see a movie with Dave Franco in it, fucking watch Neighbors. That shit is funny. It is so good.
I've seen 21 Jump Street, and he's hilarious in the first one.
Yeah, it's on HBO Max. You gotta watch it. It's good.
Hell yeah, dude! I gotta watch. Yeah, and actually, that's got Seth Rogen too, right? And
And it's got Rose Bryan. I think that's her name.
that's who plays the wife.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude!
Because
That's
honestly,
sweet.
like out of all Australian actresses so far, like I'm sorry, Margot Robbie, she is fine. I am not denying that she ain't
Margot
fine.
Robbie's hella bad.
But that brunette Rose Bryan is just top of the list for me. I'm sorry. Like if I had to choose between the two, I'd choose her. I'm sorry.
I feel you, man. I feel you. I feel you.
Yeah. Those
Um,
cute brunettes, man. There's something about them, man. Yeah.
yeah, my girlfriend's a brunette, so I should agree.
Yeah. She she
um,
she is fine, bro. You are
oh well,
lucky as
thank you,
hell.
thank you, man, thank you.
Yeah.
She is, but yeah, man, that's sweet. I gotta check that movie out. And then um, I was thinking of like, I was like, who plays who's the female like lead? And like, I thought like it was Charlize Theron, but then I was like, oh wait, no, that's Long Shot, which I also haven't seen.
Yeah. I should see that actually. I do love Charlize Theron, honestly.
And Seth Rogen. Seth Rogen's hilarious,
Yeah.
dude. I love him so much. He made a comment recently though. I have to disagree like vehemently. Maybe
And
not.
what did he say?
He said like there's not been a good high school movie since Superbad, and I was like, there's like been. I mean, there's been Superbad. Like not. I'm not gonna say copies. There's been inspirations from Superbad. Like there was that one movie Booksmart. There was
Yeah.
does Ladybird count? Kind of. That was funny in parts,
Yeah.
and it was like it was a very real representation of high schoolers. I would say also Superbad's like a real representation of like high school boys. They're all fucking pervy and just wanting to get drunk and stuff and idiots.
I mean, yeah,
Uh,
that's fairly accurate.
and actually, the cops are maybe nowadays a fine representative of like abusive authority, but
Although, granted, out of all the cops I could ever run into, I think I'd rather run into those two.
I would love to be arrested by Seth Rogen in a handlebar mustache. That would be sick as fuck. I would like die. I would die laughing as he cuffs me, and he'd be like, "Oh, get in the car," like.
Oh man, I wouldn't laugh hard. I fucking arrive hard, man. Like, dude, Seth Rogen in a handlebar mustache, that is daddy energy right there. I'm sorry. That's just.
He is, dude.
Yeah.
He's very. He does look good with that handlebar mustache.
You think he does the little laugh when he arrives?
one wonders, like he's
Yeah. Oh
man.
god, and I'm just imagining any scene in any Seth Rogen movie where he's like moaning and his eyes are closed. Nah, I can see it.
Oh man! All right,
Oh, I'm
yeah, I
so
think this is a
bad.
good place to end.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. This was a sexually charged episode. Fuck, I got some
we
serious
talked a
editing
lot
to
about
do.
porn stuff.
I know. I know.
Oh, sorry. We are clocking out. This has been the 9 to 5 boys.
Clocking out.